Learning how to replace shower faucet diverters can be easy, and this video is different for two reasons. Number one, we're going to show you how to use all PEX using the Hansgrohe iBox. This is phenomenal because you don't have to solder or sweat copper pipe inside a shower wall. And then secondly, we're going to install the Hansgrohe Shower Select trim, which has two buttons on it, one for the tub spout and one for the shower head. It's pretty cool. Get all the materials you need inside the shower or tub area. For example, PEX fittings, crimper, Teflon tape, etc. The complete list of tools, though, is going to be over on Home Repair Tutor. We'll put a link in the description of this video and within the video itself. The first thing that you need to do, though, is determine the depth of the eye box within the stud wall. The wood that we used in this case was 1/2-inch pieces of OSB. You can also use 1/2-inch pieces of plywood. We needed to add 2 layers of OSB inside the stud wall, and we also accounted for the tile thickness, in our case 1/2-inch travertine, backer board, which was 1/2-inch weedy, and thin set. Add PEX adapters to the eye box. In this case, we had 4 PEX adapters and used 6 to 7 revolutions of Teflon tape on each one. You'll hand tighten them first to avoid cross threading, and then use a wrench to tighten them, but don't over tighten the adapters. Center the eye box on a tub and dry fit it to see how to add the PEX for the hot and cold water supply lines. Then you can assemble the PEX hot and cold supply lines outside the stud wall. This makes the installation of the PEX a lot easier and a little bit better to handle. Now you should know the eye box also has a mark indicating it should face upward. So don't forget this when you're adding the PEX. Each PEX fitting needs a crimp ring and PEX fitting. Crimp the fitting using crimpers, and roughly 1/16 of an inch of PEX should show between the ring and the fitting. Hot supply lines indicated by red PEX in this example should be on the left of the eye box, and cold supply lines indicated by the blue PEX pipe should be on the right of the eye box. Make the tub spout and shower head PEX a bit long when you're installing them. We'll explain why in a moment here. Center the eye box on the tub again and position the eye box vertically about 18 inches off the tub deck. Screw the eye box to the wood using 4 galvanized screws and check that it's level. This is very important because it will determine the final look of the eye box with the trim. So take your time at this step. Use a 1/2-inch female PEX adapter for the tub spout. Add a 1/2-inch brass nipple to this 1/2-inch female PEX adapter. Center it on the tub. Again, in this case, that was 16 inches off the stud wall. Position the adapter at 4 inches above the tub deck. Cut the PEX and connect the PEX fitting to the PEX pipe. Use 3 galvanized screws to attach the adapter to the wood blocking and double check that it's centered on the tub. Again, centering the adapter is very important. Run the PEX for the shower head. Again, this was a bit long at the eye box so that we could run it through the stud wall and cut it at the 84-inch mark, meaning it's 84 inches off the bottom of the tub. Connect the 1/2-inch PEX adapter by using a crimp ring and crimper. Add wood blocking inside the stud wall using a 2x4 and 4 3-inch deck screws. Then center the 1/2-inch PEX adapter to the blocking using 3 galvanized screws. Connect the cold PEX supply line from the eye box to the cold house supply and hot PEX supply line from the eye box to the hot house supply. Pressurize the pipes by turning the shutoffs to the on position. Add stops or plugs to the 1/2-inch PEX adapters for the tub and shower head. Steve uses a customized copper plug for the shower head, but you could buy these plugs at the home store. The eye box has integrated stops for the hot and cold supply lines, which is really cool. The hot supply is controlled by the stop on the left, and the cold supply is controlled by the stop on the right. These stops can be adjusted using a standard screwdriver. Turn the eye box integrated stops to the on position and flush the system. You'll want to do this because you don't want any debris going into the tub spout or the shower head. Then inspect the PEX fittings for any leaks. You want to solve any leaks right now before you put your backer board on the stud wall. Once the eye box is installed, backer boards can be added to the shower walls. In this project, we used weedy backer boards, 1/2-inch weedy backer boards. Double check that the combination of the backer board and the tile will fall within the eye box min-max line. Then seal the eye box to the backer board using weedy joint sealant. In this example, that's what we did. This creates a watertight seal between the eye box and weedy building panel and is a great reason to use these two systems together. The eye box gasket can also be used during the tile setting. Embed the eye box gasket onto the backer board using thin set mortar. Smooth out the mortar using a trowel or a 3-inch putty knife. This is really important. You don't want any lumps or bumps underneath this gasket. Set the plumbing wall tile and cut holes for the eye box using an angle grinder and diamond blade. Be safe while doing this though. Wear all your safety gear and do it outside if possible. The gap between the tile and the eye box should be about 1/16 to 1/8 of an inch. Check the trim will cover the gap between the eye box and the tile. This is very important because if the trim doesn't cover that gap between the eye box and the tile, your tile work will look terrible. Apply 6 to 7 revolutions of Teflon tape to both sides of the brass nipple for the tub spout and hand tighten it to the tub spout adapter. We used a wrench to tighten the nipple 1/4 to 1/2 turn, but you should not do this. You should use a hex wrench instead to avoid damaging the O-ring and the tub spout adapter. Hand tighten the nipple/tub spout adapter to the female adapter in the wall, and again use a hex wrench to complete the installation. Flush the eye box one last time by turning the flushing block 90 degrees and tightening the set screw. The port for the tub spout should be 1 1/8 of an inch to 1 3/8 of an inch from the tile. Add 100% silicone around the port. Add the tub spout escutcheon, which by the way has a rubber seal and is great. Then add the tub spout and tighten it with the set screw. We really liked how the tub spout installed because it was easy and very straightforward. Cut the eye box plaster shield with a utility knife so that it extends 1/16 to 1/8 of an inch outside the surface of the tile. Remove the flush insert and add the function block to the eye box using 4 metal screws. At this point, we modified the directions a little bit, and we recommend adding the nuts to the shutoff stems. These are crucial for the operation of the shower select buttons, and that's why we added them to the shutoff stems before placing the fitting aid over the shutoff stems. Cut the shutoff stems so they are flush with the front of the fitting aid. In this case, we use the fine multi-master. Then file the shutoff stems so they are straight and even. Thread the nuts on the shutoff valve stems so they're even with the front of the stems. Again, this is very important because these help with the function of the buttons for the tub spout and the shower head. Measure the distance between the outside edge of the eye box's plaster shield and bolt plate. Add 7/16 of an inch to this measurement and cut the retainer plate screws to size. Our total measurement was 1 3/16 of an inch. Then seal the gap between the tile and the plaster shield using 100% silicone. Again, this is just doubling up on your waterproofing. Install the retainer plate using the plastic screws, then apply small dabs of silicone at the grout joints between the retainer plate and the tile. Remove the green safety guards from the shutoff valves inside the eye box. Install the thermostatic mixer sleeve. We actually did this wrong the first time and had to go back after completing the installation to fix it. Escutcheon, which suctions to the retainer plate, then add the shutoff buttons. In this case, we have 2 buttons. Again, one for the tub spout and one for the shower head. You also want to test the function of the buttons to make sure that they work properly. Add 6 to 7 revolutions of Teflon tape to the shower arm and thread it onto the 1/2-inch PEX adapter inside the wall. The nice thing about Hansgrohe shower heads is they don't require Teflon tape. Turn the thermostatic mixer stem until the output water is about 104 degrees Fahrenheit. Install the handle so that the lever is next to the indexing mark on the sleeve and the 100-degree mark on the escutcheon. And finally, tighten the set screw that holds the handle in place. This is the final look of the system. We're really pleased with how the tub spout looks, how the shower select buttons look on the trim. It's really neat to have a push button for both the tub spout and the shower head. And finally, the water flow was fantastic to this shower. But if you're concerned about the water flow or you have an elaborate shower system, you may want to consider upgrading to 3/4-inch PEX pipes. The supply list for this tutorial is over on homerepairtutor.com. You can just click right here to check it out. We have links to the iBox and the Hansgrohe Shower Select Trim Kit. So if you want more details on that, it'll be over on our website. And if you are building a shower and need help selecting a shower pan or a shower waterproofing system, or you're looking for tile supplies, you can check that out over on shop.bathroomrepairtutor.com. That's our other website, which you can check out right there. All right, thanks so much for watching this video. If you have any questions, let us know down in the comments. We'll see you in the next video.